How is it going then, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to another video here on our channel. I am the FIFA Analyst, and today I'm going to be talking to you about dribbling in FIFA 20. I've been getting a lot of comments asking, how do I dribble like that? What buttons am I using? Is it just the left stick? Am I using L1, R1? Am I using L1, L2, R2? What is it that I'm doing, basically? So we're going to be showing you guys exactly what I do with some gameplay, breaking it down and showing you what buttons you need to press to dribble in a very efficient and good way. If you do enjoy the video, please do let me know by dropping a like, and you can also subscribe to the channel. We do upload every day at 5 PM. We do also stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday at 8 PM UK time. That's the best place for you to come on over, ask any questions. I can look at your teams, any advice, all that sort of stuff. I'm happy to do it. So when it comes to dribbling, there are a few fundamentals that I use to try and get past players, create that little bit of space in the box to then try and get a goal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump into the arena together, just so we can have a look, talk you through the buttons and then go through and dissect the gameplay. So to start off with the easy one, it is just left stick dribbling. Now this is where you're just holding the left stick and you're dribbling as normal. It's something that I use predominantly for most of my dribbling, if I'm honest with you. It just basically keeps the ball fairly close to them, not too close but not too far away. It's obviously the basic fundamental of FIFA. I'm sure you guys know how to do it. This is honestly much better when you have got a player that is good at dribbling. Neymar, Hazard, that sort of thing. Obviously, if you're rocking, a gold, just a normal gold team, and you've just got a few 82s, 83s or something, they're not going to be as good at dribbling as your higher rated players. That is one thing to bear in mind. But overall, a lot of my dribbling does just come by using the left stick. Now, the next one, which I tend to use on a little bit, is L1 and left stick, which is where you do crab, strafe, whatever you want to call it, but essentially they just keep the ball in and around their feet like that. They're constantly tapping the ball with their right foot, left foot, and just leaving it really close, and works quite well for us. However, when you do come backwards, they are going to bring the ball back like that, which is one thing to bear in mind. It's actually quite difficult for the opponent to take the ball off you when you do this. It's one of them ones for me that the opponent doesn't seem to lock on. So if you're trying to tackle someone that's doing this, they don't seem to lock on to the ball so much. It's a little bit harder to do it. Now, when do I actually use this in situations? I tend to use this with a little bit of a tappy tap. So I might be doing a left stick dribble as normal, and then I might literally hold it for a second and then hold it for a second just to create that little bit of room. I won't physically run around the box like this. I will use my left stick dribble. Say if I want to come back that way, I might hold L1 and then go back that way as well. Then the other sort of dribbling which you can do, which is one thing that I don't do if I'm honest with you, I used to on FIFA 18 but I haven't done on FIFA 19 or 20 too much, is close dribbling, which is where you hold L2 and R2. So your two top trigger buttons, you're going to hold them two on there, and what they're going to do is they're going to keep the ball really close, real fine movements, and keep it on directly on their feet. Now I used to use this a lot on FIFA 18, as I said, because it was just L1. It was replaced, they've changed it now, so it's L2, R2. The reason why I don't do it now is because I find it quite difficult, if I'm honest with you, to hold L2 and R2 and use the controller as I want to. So I don't actually use this one at all. It's not something that I use. Predominantly, it is just left stick dribbling for me and then holding R1 for a second or so just to kind of create that little bit of space, which you will see in the clips as well. Now, I'll cover little tips directly on dribbling. It's not so, well, I suppose it is classed as dribbling. It's a skill move, but it's classed as dribbling. A few things that you need to have in your locker as well to be able to dribble past players is a ball roll, which is where you just hold the analog stick to the left, to the right, up or down, depending on which way your player is facing. If you're facing forward in the arena, right for a second, it's going to do a ball roll. And then same again, if you want to go left when you're facing that way for a second, and it will just take the ball roll. Really effective to beat a defender, which you will see in the clips as well. Now, the other little one which I want to talk to you about is a drag back. Now, it's R1 and left stick and then into the direction that you want to go. So if you're facing forward, you just come back and it will take the ball directly back there. If you want to go back and then right, back, right, and it will do it that way for us. That is really effective when it comes to dribbling as well. A little bit more of skill moves, as I said, but I do find them so crucial to getting that bit of extra space inside the box when I need it. Let's go ahead and jump into some gameplay though and show you guys how I dribble in game. So when it comes to dribbling in game, one of the things that obviously you've got to take into account is how you use the left stick. What do I actually mean by that is a lot of you guys tend to push the stick all the way to the edge at all the times, which can work, but it's only really good in those quick, you want to go from facing one way to coming back the other way. As a whole, say if I'm running in one direction forward, I'll tend to be a little bit more delicate on the stick. But when it comes to dribbling, pretty much all the time for me, if I'm trying to beat a player, I am literally just using the left stick, as you can see here, using a bit of L1 just to bring the ball back, wait for that player to come in for support the runner, and then we play the ball off to him. But I am not using sprint pretty much all the time when I'm dribbling. If you are struggling to dribble, it's because you're probably holding sprint too much. All you need to do is just use the left stick, use a bit of L1, as I've already spoke to you about as well, and you'll find that you'll just get a little bit more room inside the box from doing that. Now, you can use L2, R2 or LT, RT if you're on Xbox if you wanted to. As I said, for me, it's not something that I do incorporate into my game too often. I very rarely use it. But when it comes to dribbling, the way I like to dribble, and you've seen it already a lot in these clips, is that I go from facing, say, upwards to downwards, back to upwards. I'm always constantly trying to duke the opponent into which way I'm going. With doing that, it just gives you that little bit of room, that little bit of space just to kind of get where you want to be. Then you can implement a ball roll, a drag back, whatever it is, just to kind of get those little bit of spaces that you need inside the box. It's so crucial. When it comes to dribbling, obviously one of the things that you can do is just take your eye on the opponent's cursor and think, where are they actually going to predict you to go? And you can go the other way. So for me, if I think they're going to try and cover their near post here, I won't necessarily go towards the near post. I'll go towards the far post and then cut back in on the near post. It dukes the opponent. It makes it harder for them to kind of predict exactly where you're going. Always try and think in the opponent's mind. If you can do that, you will just kind of get a couple of little chances. All you need is that 1 yard, 2 yard. Pick the ball up here with Ronaldo. We use the left stick just to come back. We're not using any of the L1 there or anything like that. It's just all directly with the left stick. When I want to make the sharp turns in that 90-degree angle, whatever it is, that's where I push the left stick all the way up to the edge of the stick directly. If I want to keep the ball really close, I don't want to have such sharp turns, that's when I just use the left stick and I caress it. Let's say you meet a nice lady, you meet a nice man, that sort of thing. You want to be gentle. You don't want to be too rushed into things, do you? All you need to do is just be really soft on the stick when you want to keep it as close as to the ball holder as possible. A little bit of a different sort of analogy there for you, but it's true. That's how it can work. So you don't want to be too aggressive on it. When you find that you're being too aggressive all the time, you never have control of the ball. You never have it where you want it to be. You just need to be really gentle. Then when you want to make that, people say, how do you make that quick, sharp turn? That's where you push your stick all the way to one end. Picking up the ball there, using a little bit of L1 with Bernardo, finding that little bit of room to come back and try and take the shot. Unfortunately, it gets blocked because AI blocks are so strong this year, but that's kind of a different topic when it comes to that. So yeah, using that little bit of L1. As I said, I don't run around the pitch just backing up all the time. Predominantly, it's mostly left stick for me. But as I said in the first little bit, one of the things that I do find so crucial, you can just dribble through players if you are that good at it. Kurt, for example, is absolutely quality, but I need those fake shots. I need those drag backs. I need those ball rolls to create that little bit of space for me. There, a lovely little turn with Alexis. That was just, again, pushing the left stick all the way to the other end to take the first touch, get it into there. Again with Ronaldo, back that way, back the other way, constantly going back one way, going back the other way, and then finding the space, finding the players that I want to pass it to. It does take a lot of practice for dribbling, and obviously one of the things that I have to say, it also does all come down to servers at the end of the day, guys. If the gameplay is not smooth for me, I find it so hard to dribble. If the gameplay isn't smooth, I will use L1 more than I would normally because I don't find left stick to be as effective there. If the gameplay is delayed, that's when you're going to be using L1 a little bit more. But when it's smooth, that's when I use just the left stick generally as a whole. Works really well for me, gets me that little bit of room, little bit of space inside the box. And as I said, it's not something that's just going to come natural overnight. When I first decided, I saw Kurt dribbling back on FIFA 18 and I thought, I want to be able to do that. So I did spend a lot of time trying to practice it, trying to see how he does it, what does he do. Obviously Kurt does say that he just uses the left stick. For me, I don't know how he does it because I can't just use a left stick only. I do have to use that little bit of L1 as well just to get the ball directly into where I want it to be. But as I said, guys, just that's the L1 there with Alexis Sanchez just dropping back if you hold it down for longer than normal. As I said though, one of the things that you can't be doing when you're trying to dribble is sprint. Look at all this. I'm just so patient with it. I'm not holding sprint. I'm just holding the left stick, using that bit of L1 on the odd occasion as well. You will find that when you hold sprint, they take big touches. You can't dribble the way you want to. You've got to make sure you are really, really patient when it comes to that as well. And then, as I said, get those little bit of skill moves, get those little bit of drag backs. Look at those. Just absolutely creates the chances, creates a space for me to get inside the box, pop the ball in the back of the net and get the goal from it as well, which is always good stuff indeed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do let me know by dropping a like. Your support has been absolutely insane recently. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.